Welcome to another session of Learn with Veer Sagar. Today I'll talk about a subject which is generally not talked about but which is very, very important. That is making a proposal, a presentation, giving a write-up, any of these things which you want to present to seniors. The first thing you want to ask yourself is, what is the objective? What is my objective in giving it to them? What do I want to achieve? My achievement is that I impress them and come away with a very good reputation? Or is it that I want them to buy into my idea of what I'm saying? If it's the first, by all means, blind them with science. Fill your report with graphs, diagrams, charts, mathematical models. Right? Do all that. In any case, they will not read it. They'll nod and say, very good, and it gets filed. And maybe they think, oh yeah, smart boy. But if you actually want them, which is what should be your aim most of the time, to implement it, to buy into it, then you have to follow what I call the KISS model, the KISS model, which is keep it simple, stupid. Keep it as simple as you can. I have a rule when I tell any of my subordinates that if you want me to read your report, understand, act, take action, then I have two rules. Rule number one, it must be within one page. If you cannot condense your idea into a page, into a paragraph, that means you're not very clear about what you want to do and you want to confuse me with English language. English language is a wonderful thing. You can write 10 pages without saying anything, without meaning anything. Right? So I don't want English language. In my report, I want you to understand and therefore paraphrase it, put them in simple sentences, what I call into PowerPoint presentation slides. Secondly, it has to be simple. It has to be understood by everybody, not by somebody who you think knows all the subject that you know. Top management knows a lot about everything, but not everything about something. That's what you are supposed to bring to the table. So keep it simple as you can. So two rules, keep it simple and keep it short. In one of my first experiences, right, as a junior manager, I wanted to introduce the concept of profit optimization by mix. By making the right mix of products so that you optimize your margins. In those days, you could not increase the volume of production. Therefore, you have to fool around with the same number, but fool around with the mix so that your mix gives you the best margins. I got all the sales requirements. I got the factory constraints, got all the things and created a beautiful mathematical model of optimizing the margins. Ran the model, very thrilled with myself. Took the computer printout, which gives shadow cost, gives all kinds of things. Made a presentation to the top management of the marketing team. And boasting about my knowledge, showing them the mathematical model. And said, this is what I recommend. Smart man that I am, I'm recommending this to you, dumbos. And sure enough, they said, great, very nice, let's think about it. Effectively, very politely, they told me, thank you, but no thanks. I came out quite crestfallen. And I met the marketing manager. I used to know him well. He was fond of me. So I sat down with him and I said, tell me, what is the problem? And I said, let me walk you through. And I said, here is your chart. This is what you wanted. This is the product mix that you wanted in the sales. This is what I am recommending. And if you see the difference, let's pick 5 items in which my recommendation is different from yours. And then say, is this implementable? So took the first recommendation, went through sales requirements. It's within the sales requirements. It's within the capacity of the factory. And yes, it can be done. Like that, I picked up 5 and then showed him at the end that if you did this 5, as opposed to what you had recommended, this is how the company profit goes up. So he said, great, let's do it. And I said, but why can't we do the rest? He said, because I didn't understand what the hell you were saying. So go back, think in this nice manner that you have explained to me, and come back. So that is what I did. Went back and made a very simple chart giving 4 items: the description, the number, the price, and what they should make, which they all liked. And lo and behold, it got accepted, and then it became the norm. It then struck me that if you make it simple, it means 2 things. A, it means you have understood it well. Otherwise, you are trying to cover up with complication. Secondly, you made sure your persons who are looking at it, your audience, your people who should be bought into it, understand it. But if they do not understand it, they will not recommend, they will not support. If I am told, implement this, and I don't understand it, I will not be able to implement. And if I am responsible, I will definitely not implement. But if somebody gives me an idea which I understand, he explains to me so nicely that I understand, then the chances are that I will implement it. So a very important rule is keep it simple. Don't add too many paragraphs. Do not write English in it. Write very simple language. Make charts which are so simple to understand, which are self-explanatory, which should not have somebody going with the chart to explain. If I got the chart, I should be able to understand it. If I can understand it, I will implement it. As a footnote, I'll tell you, this got accepted, and then it became standard, and every year we were doing this as a normal routine. One of my sales managers in those days, right, he got promoted to a general manager level, and I've also been fairly senior by that time. He went to Administrative Staff College in Hyderabad, right, for top management course. And he came back and he said to me, Veer, we are doing all this profit planning, very great. But one thing you have missed out. I said, what? You should have used linear programming for doing this. We would have done it so much better. And I said, yes, Mr. Krishna, you're right. We should have used linear programming. I didn't have the heart to tell him that is what I'm doing all these days, but you didn't understand because the day when I told you I'm using linear programming, you threw me out. So if you want your presentation to be understood, your report to be good, make 2 or 3 things possible. One is the report must show action. It must tell you, do this. Must shout out for action. You don't need to tell anybody. The report must, if you look at the report and say, this means I have to do this. This is what is required to be done. The report must cry out for action. It should be simple. It should be easy to understand. So if you do that, then a report gets accepted. A report that does not get accepted, a proposal that does not get accepted, is not what the ink is written on. Just summarize again, right? For getting your proposal accepted, first rule is to keep it short. No senior manager has the time or the patience to read through. Only the middle managers have time and the patience to read through. They cannot decide. So any person, a decision-making rule doesn't like long things. So keep it short and simple. Keep it simple. Keep it easy to understand, and it should tell you immediately what is required to be done. With that, it's Veer Sagar saying thank you very much till we meet again with another session of Learn with Veer Sagar.